So it's Sunday morning, as you can see, got my sweat on, I'm digging. So what we've been doing is digging more out of this brambles area. A large area has been done today and yesterday. As you have seen from previous videos, it was all just thick, really thick, like 8 foot wide all the way along. So everything that we've created here was all brambles, so it was just wasted space really. The birds and that have still got plenty of space to go in, and it's not that we've taken any of that away. In fact, we're very conscious of the wildlife, and this whole jungle that was behind here is a project. We've started calling it the wildlife area because that's what it's going to be. So we've actually hollowed a load out just because we just couldn't get anywhere. You can't really cultivate on this back here, it's so bad, but we're going to make it pretty cool. So you can see all the big stuff that I cut out. I sort of started creating a sort of wild sort of fence, if you like. We've already seen loads of the birds and that perching on there and feeding down here. All the stuff we've cut back's gone in here. Unfortunately, this here was a load of rubbish that we inherited when we took on the plot, and it's just been covered up for now, but obviously I'm going to have to deal with that, take it down the tip. But this area here I'm really pleased with, because like I said, it was just wasted space, and it just makes everything just so much more workable around here. So yeah, we're going to actually put one of those wildlife trail cameras in here, and we're also going to put something really cool down here called a cozy cage. They're like cat shelters, but they also do them for all types of animals. So we're going to put one of their multi kennels down here with a big open door, and we're going to put a camera, an infrared style one that gets triggered when the wildlife come past it, and it'd be really interesting to see what comes about around here, because we know that there are foxes and fox cubs around here. So we're gonna do that, and if we get any footage, we'll show you. So that's really cool. So I'm just tidying up now. These are the roots I've dug out this morning. It's absolute monsters. It's like the mandrake root from Harry Potter, and then a load of concrete we found. But I've been thoroughly digging the roots out, as you can see. There's loads of little wispy ones. They're even harder. Well, I say even harder. They're even hard to come out. So yeah, pretty pleased today. Just one more thing. My dear old Nan's pitchfork sadly broke. It's very many years old. She always said to me she was going to come back as a robin and visit me. So look what I did. We had this little robin that we got out at Christmas, so I fixed it to what's left of her pitchfork. So now I'm going to turn her around. She can face the plot because she loved her gardens, so she can keep her eye on things.
So this area here is going to be a wild flower bed that we've dug over. This is where all the brambles were. All the roots have been dug out. We've broken up the soil. I'm going to water it, and then we've got these bee flower bombs that we're going to put in the ground to help encourage the wildlife and the bees, and that should look lovely. Hopefully it works. And then we've got these other flowers. We just picked these up.
A few different types. We'll put them in a more sort of shady area.
I wouldn't pronounce the names, I'd probably get it wrong.
Yeah, we just thought they looked pretty. But this gets a bit more shade in the day. Late afternoon it gets sun, but so we've got some tulips and some whatnot. We've already seen lots of bees flying around.
Yeah, they're looking.
They're out. They want stuff to feed on, so we're gonna help them out with that.
But yeah, these are just little bee bombs.
Pollinate. So
they like?
Can't really see. It's very bright. Yeah, there's just loads of random different ones in there. They come in like a clay stuff that breaks down
So if
You just chuck them on
I'll water this first and then...
Yeah, give it a bit of water, yeah. Can't believe how good the soil is under here, because this is where all the bramble was. It's full of worms, which is a good sign.
Yeah.
It's probably better soil here than it was on the plot when we started. And I've, you know, although I've dug it all over, all the way along, and dug all the roots and the brambles out, this is what we dug out so far, just along this area. These are the big ones anyway. Considering the soil is very, very good. It does take little work once you've got all the roots out, so we don't know exactly how many of these things to chuck down. I think we're probably going to chuck them all in and just see what happens. Just chuck them in, Rach, and see what happens, innit? I think there's, what, how many's in there, like 20 odd? 20 odd, so
they don't have to be buried.
No, you just chuck them on top.
You just scatter them around and then water the area well.
Yeah, we'll do that then.
And they break down.
Yeah.
Then... Okay.
Yeah, as long as they're sort of run, like, evenly spread out. You happy with that?
I think so.
Good. There we go. It will take quite a while, I think, for these to start coming up, and obviously you'll just get greenery coming up before the flowers, but in the summer, I reckon, that's when they'll be quite tall. And then we'll post and see what they've turned out like. I'll show you what we've done behind here. Obviously Rachel's been planting some nice flowers up in the ground here. A few different things, and some tulips down there to go with the daffodils around there. So a bit of sorry, I'm huffing and puffing because I've been digging loads. But all this area now here, I would go as far as to say this lot along here that we've done is our biggest transformation on the plot. I know all of that we've done there is pretty cool in a short space of time, but the amount of groundwork that's gone into digging this out, which was a huge waste of space. Look at that. This is what we call the wild area, so we're gonna make it cool for the wildlife. I've been doing, not really sure what I'm doing with this, but put some bark down and just using all the offcuts that I've chopped back because they were overhanging everywhere, and we're making a sort of cool little area out of it. I reckon it's quite cool. Obviously this is all going to come into bloom back here soon, so there's going to be a lot of foliage on the trees, but it's like a little secret garden back here. These 2 out of 3 of these are absolutely full up. I filled them basically with all the bramble that we've cut back, so they're not going to go in our main composters, but eventually, over time, and it will be more time than the other composters, we will have organic matter out of that, so it all breaks down in the end. So in like a year's time or something, that will have gone down sort of to about 1/3 of the level, and you will have some extra compost there. But even if you just put it on the flower beds or something, which inevitably this lot's going to be, isn't that right, Rach? She's doing a little dance over there, checking her flowers out. Oh, look at that, you saw it first. Rachel's dancing at number 10. So that is pretty much it for today. What we're going to do, there's just one more thing to do, and that is for me to sit down. Oh look, Gordon's alive. Oh, some bloke drove past when I was going to get the stuff, and he said, oh, I love the t-shirt.
Oh,
Brian Blessed. So flash Gordon. So last thing to do, a little can of Mythos. I didn't have any ales, but Greek beer, back to front. So there we go, guys. So back down here, Tuesday. Bench is going a bit wonky in that stuff there. I think we've got too much chippings down there, so we're going to rake it all about, I think, to make it look a bit better. We brought this palm down from home because we've got a few of them. So I thought, let's whack it in the ground down here and see what happens. and we've just been doing the wildlifey bit. So there's a new addition. It's opening up a treat down here. Look, we put this stuff up. It looks like it's really leaning really badly, but it's not that bad. It's a bit deceiving, but we have used the tree behind it as a way of securing it, obviously with a load of bamboo canes as well. But it's starting to get real tidy around here. We've dug out the last massive root, but now, if you can see, this end particularly was nowhere near as bad at that end for this stuff. But whatever this stuff is, it is pure and utter evil. There's loads of it. It's hard, you can't just pull it out. It's deep rooted. It's absolutely awful. It was like a jungle of it here. So we have got the back broken out of it, but it's an absolute pain. But it's coming along. So this, I had an idea of putting this up because it basically hides the eyesore that we've got behind here. Obviously we've got 2 compost bins. That's going to be left for like at least a year to break down in there anyway, and all of that there, when that breaks down a bit more, I will then transfer it into another empty one of these, or even our main composters. But yeah, it's very secure with a lot of cable ties and a lot of wood. We've anchored it to the trees as well, so it's pretty solid, man. So yeah, it's looking good. It's just out of sight, out of mind, isn't it? It just looks a lot better, a lot more open. There's Rachel. She's been hard at work as well. So yeah, there we go. I also used these old poles that were in the rubbish pile that got left on the plot. So I've used them. I've staked them in the ground at angles to make it even more firm, basically. So yeah. One last thing I was going to show you. We're going to pot up a few pansies in there in a minute. A few little pansies to go in with the flowers. Just going to do some little seedlings of them in pots, and they can just come through in there. So we're going to test out the little greenhouse. But yeah, we showed you on the video at our house this Thatcher's bottle opener. So I whacked it on the shed now. You couldn't really see it very clearly in our kitchen. The lighting was awful. But it's all going out of focus now. There you go. Look, you can see it more clear now. Thatcher's gold. It's like proper, I don't know what metal it's made out of, iron or something. It's really heavy, but it's proper job. Like, it'll crack your bottle open. So that is what I'm gonna do. It sounds like an old key because that's about 2 or 3 times we've had a beer down here now, but we don't always do it. It's because the sky is blue today, so make the most of it. Because apparently down here in Somerset, the rain's on the way, so we're going to have one. We're going to share it, actually, aren't we, Rach? We're going to share it.
Yeah.
Oh, happy days. So Thursday afternoon, back from work, just popped down here just to check on a few things, and guess where I am? I am inside the cheapy plastic greenhouse. Yeah. So I'm actually going to pot up the pansies that I couldn't be bothered to do the other day. These are the green bean plants that we've had in the cold frame the whole time. Now, I noticed on one of the leaves, the small ones, don't know if you can see, it had what looked like snail trail on it. You know, like that slimy stuff. So I reckon there might have been a couple of slugs come up through. So what I've done is, as I've brought them inside here for a couple of days, they're up high, they've got plenty of light in here now, so I reckon they're going to be alright in here. And it actually looks like we've got things growing in the greenhouse. But what I came down here for was, you know, I was telling you last time about the cosy cage that's going in our little wildlife area. Well, I've got it down here. Got one of their multi ones. So this is cool as you like. They were originally made for cats, but this one they have adapted the door so that creatures can basically step straight in. They're made out of, excuse the train. Oh yeah, alright. Don't often get trains come past here, it's like not the main line. So they're made from rotationally moulded plastic, which means if you look inside, there are no joints. So they're really hygienic. You can just spray them out, clean them out, use whatever you want to clean them out. And the joints don't crack, they don't get no dirt in them or anything. So it's cool that all they have is one little drain hole in the bottom which you can put a plug in. Yeah. Really cool. So like I said before, what we're going to do is actually set up, when this area is done a little bit more, we're going to set up on one of these poles or something a little wildlife camera, and we're going to see at night time or whatever if it gets triggered by anything, and obviously it will give us a still photo in a 10-second clip. So when I get this little camera, I'm going to set it up ASAP and we'll see if anything cool comes along here. So yeah, awesome. I've sown a few flower seeds in here, just good old pansy. You can see that, there you go. Just done like half of a tray of them, whack them in there, see what happens. And we've got these as well. The seeds were like massive compared to the pansies. Nasturtium, not sure where we got these seeds, we had them at home. Might be from Rachel's mum maybe. She's given us some seeds in the past, so let's get them going and see what happens. I'll just dig them into some flower beds or something, just so there's a bit of colour in it on the side. Yeah, also you see inside this greenhouse loads, millions, well not, I wouldn't say millions, bloody loads of these tiny little midges in here. Yeah, don't really know how to get rid of them, excuse the bad camera angle. There's bloody loads of them, excuse the French. I don't think they're going to affect it too much at the moment, because apart from the green beans, there's nothing like with fruit or anything on it. So yeah, but when I'm down here for the day, I'll be able to shoo them all out. Yeah, keep the door open, but I don't really want to leave the door open overnight yet, because we're not at that stage yet where the cold's completely gone. So for now, the little buggers are going to have to stay in it. Horrible little things. They're everywhere at the moment. Not sure what they are. If anyone knows what they are, tell me. Can't. Hang on. Look. See that? Look at that. Infestation. Someone better call the exterminator. But it's got to be completely pesticide free, whatever he puts on them. No, we don't kill anything. I know some people will probably think that's weird, but I don't put slug killer down, nothing. I don't kill a single living creature by choice. That's just my thing. I won't do it. And if it means some things get eaten, so be it. I just see that as a learning curve. And hopefully over years we'll learn what gets attacked by what, and we'll adapt to it. We either won't grow it there, or we'll grow it somewhere else, or we'll do something different. But that is my rule. I'm a lover, not a killer. So there we have it. We've actually got something growing in there. Well, starting to grow in there, even if it is full of little gnat things. But we'll get rid of them one way or the other. So that's it for today. Giving it all a bit of a water. Yeah, I mean soon when we start doing these videos, it's all been about the groundworks so far, but we're almost at the stage now where things are going to start growing, hopefully. And this area out the back is really starting to take its own little shape. I'm going to do a bit more sort of screening type stuff here that will link up behind the shed. I was actually thinking about bringing this windbreaker thing that we got for like when we go camping, because that could twist around the shape of all these, because I'm not digging all these trees out, it's ridiculous. But I'll get it to link up behind our shed, which will be clear when I take all that down the tip, and it'll have a little shape. And then I just got to dig all this horror story up, which is quite annoying really, how very different the roots are here. Along there it was just a fair few really big roots that was like, there you go, there they all are down there. So they were like proper like tree style ones, but you know where you're at with them, you know once you get them out of the ground that's it. But this here is a sea of horrible little horrible roots. Did I tell you they were horrible? Well, guess what, they're horrible. But they will come, and this will be something. I'm not sure what yet. Probably just make it look nice. And this back here, this is all about the wildlife back here, so giving back to the wildlife. Not that we've taken anything away, if anything we've made it better, I would say. So, but there you go. I hope you all like what we've done this week. Rach and I have been real busy on it. Yeah. Cheers guys, and remember, if you haven't already, like and subscribe, because it will help Rachel's page no end. Cheers.